Welcome to another edition of 42 Straight Years In, Volume 2, Part 27. On my crackhead update, I only seen one yesterday. He was sitting on the bicycle. He was stuck. I would have uploaded it, but it was late in the afternoon and it don't show very well, so I won't upload it. So far today, everything has been quiet around here. That was a doozy yesterday, and she was just laid out on the front porch. Man, she was young as hell. She was only 23, and she said she was homeless. You know, she got to be screwed up. She got a real pretty face. You know, for a 23-year-old chick, somebody gonna swoop her up. So stuff, you know, something is real bad going on with her because nobody won't deal with her. She said some guys had put her out the car. She had cum stains all in her panties. I mean, just crusted. She was getting off herself. I offered to take her to a shelter for battered females. She would have been okay. I would have drove over to Irving. She'd been all right if she went to this facility. It's a house, really. They're not even strict on those chicks. They just tell them don't bring no man there. And don't tell them where it's located, but I know where it's at. And she didn't want no help, so she walked on down Corinth, and a guy pulled up. She jumped in the car with him and off to the Wild Blue yonder. Okay, that's my crackhead update. Y'all know what it is. Get your shanks out and let's ride. On my boy Lion Willie, he first came to the prison. They signed him to the Ramsey unit where I was at the time. That was 1977. And he was on the same cell block with me. I lived on one side of the cell block, and he was all the way around on the other side. It was divided in half. It's the east side and the west side, but you can go to either side. Now it's not like that. They got it separated and made two distinct cell blocks out of seven. It was just 7 wing. Now it's 7 east and west. Well, anyway, when he first came, I've spoken about this guy in previous videos, a guy named Johnny Armstrong. He was the baddest guy at the whole prison. Ain't nobody there could beat this guy in fisticuffs. And at the time when Lion Willie showed up, Johnny Armstrong, he was with the boxing team, and they was at another prison fighting. And so he didn't know who he was. So I forgot to warn him. Don't mess with this guy. Whatever you do, don't mess with him. But anyway, we had come in from work one day. He wasn't in the work squad with me because he was so small. They put him in 9-hole, where some kind of smaller guys at. And we was all sitting around talking, and this guy know a lot of people in Dallas. I mean, he really do. All bullshit aside, he know a lot of people because he's a real sociable type guy. Anyway, we was sitting there talking, and he looked at, that's when we wore our name tags on our shirt. You had your name on your shirt and the back of your pants and your prison number. He looked and seen his name was Armstrong, and he got to talking to him and said, "Hey, you know the Armstrong live in North Dallas?" He said, "Yeah, I live in North Dallas." He got to name some of that guy's family members. So Johnny Armstrong looked at him. He said, "Yeah, you remember when we was in the 6th grade, I used to beat you up and take your lunch and you take your books. You remember that?" Johnny Armstrong told him, "Say, you used to beat me up before?" He said, Yeah, when we was in the 6th grade, he said, you went and told your mama. I beat you up one day. You went and got your mama. She came back and whooped me with a belt. That's the only reason I stopped beating you up, because of your mama. So dude was trying to tell Lion Willie on the cool, hey, man, you don't even want to go there with this dude, man. But he's real deceptive. You ain't gonna know this guy's bad. He don't act bad. He don't talk bad. Until it's time to be bad. That's when he's bad. And he don't pick on little guys. He don't mess with no little guy at all. You gotta have some weight on you to get in the paint with this guy, because he will beat the brakes off of you. And he told him, say, yeah, if you piss me off, I get up and slap you right now. So he started laughing. He said, man, I don't want to paralyze your little ass, so you better go on somewhere and sit down. And he started cutting for that guy. He started liking Lion Willie. And one day, it was on a Sunday. We was getting ready for, I think the Houston Oilers was going to play the early game, and the Cowboys was going to play that afternoon. They was playing Philadelphia in Dallas, so that's going to be an afternoon game. So we were looking at the sorry-ass Houston Oilers back then. They wasn't worth a shit. And Lion Willie walked up, looking all pitiful. Guy asked him, hey, man, what's wrong, man? He said, man, my cell partner told me I got to move, man. He said, man, that dude don't own that cell. That's a two-man cell. I said, he told me not to come back to the cell, man. So Johnny Armstrong overheard it. He said, go get your cell partner. Tell him come down here. I want to see him. So he went and got his cell partner. Cell partner walked up. He seen Johnny Armstrong. He went to plea bargain. Say, man, I didn't know that was your homeboy, man. I didn't even know that, man. He said, I tell you what, man, you like to hog and run over small guys. He said, get on your knees. He said, what? He said, get on your knees. He slapped him. Pow! Knocked the fool out. They woke him back up. He wasn't through with him. He said, get on your knees. He told Lion Willie, he said, beat the hell out of him. He said, you better not fight back. Lion Willie just barely hit him. He said, man, if you don't hit that dude, man, I'm going to get up here and whoop your ass. He said, beat him up, man. He said, he ain't going to hurt you. Stay on your knees, fool. Well, Lion Willie went to digging in on him. So, after it was over with, Lion Willie tell John Armstrong, he said, man, I really didn't need no help. I really could have whooped that dude's ass myself, man. This dude, man, he's a character. But anyway, he had 325 years for a robbery and murder. And people can say what they want. It's not 99.99% of people in the world would have took a 325-year sentence, and they could easily snitched on the other guy. Nothing would have happened to them. It's not that many people in the world who would take that type of sentence. And he never told it. The appeal courts reversed his case, and he got cut loose. It took 3 years for him to get his case overturned. But he's never been back inside of a police car, never been to jail, never been back to prison, and that's been over 39 years he's been free. He never got locked up again for nothing. You know, I was talking to him. He might can receive compensation for being locked up on a crime that he was actually innocent of. So tomorrow I'm gonna go talk to this attorney for him and see if we still can file something that can help him out. I know they got a 2-year statute of limitation, but under his circumstances, he might can receive some type of compensation for Dallas County. Anyway, moving on. Work on being in love with the person in the mirror who has been through so much but is still standing. Okay, and this next segment is the truck stop killer. The long haul truck driver known as the Texas truck stop killer kept his home base in Houston, but carted his victims all over the United States. picking them up, then torching them in his cab for so many highway miles that their hair was noticeably longer when their bodies were dumped. Those suspected of an attempted murder in 1980 in Houston, and as many as 3 per month in the months or even years before that. His first confirmed kill was in January 1990. He picked up a married couple from Seattle who was hitchhiking in Texas. The husband was killed and dumped in Texas right away. He kept the wife in his torture chamber for more than a week, taking pictures of her, raping and beating her, and then killing her and dumping her hundreds of miles away in Utah. 2 young runaways from Texas were his next victims. A month later, they were 14 years old, and they met the same fate. The boy killed and dumped immediately. The girl was kept for what investigators believe could have been more than a month, with Rhodes taking pictures of her and calling her father, once from Oklahoma, another time from Ennis, Texas. Her body was finally found in a barn in Illinois, and it was her death that landed him in prison for life. Man, I don't know what to say. I guess it takes all type of people to make the world go round. But in the inner city neighborhoods, you can easily be a mass murderer and probably would never get caught. So many homeless, so many drug addicts who people don't care nothing about. They'll never notice they missing because they're all over the place. And they find a lot of people dead and nobody get arrested for it. Anyway, I got to go over to my subscriber to get this uploaded. I was going to be on Lockdown 23-1. He just sent me an email. He said that his computer is down, so we rescheduled it for Friday. And we'll see how that works out. Enough ranting and raving. Keep your shanks ready. We might have to ride at a moment's notice. And one other little tidbit. I don't regret my past. I just regret the time wasted. Think about it. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a good day.